Hey guys. So I wanted to share with you, I posted in the Facebook group talking about the NoFence collars, and I wanted to show you exactly what it is and why I'm so obsessed with it. So these collars, make it really simple for you. The NoFence collars, they are GPS collars that go on your goat, sheep, or cattle. And they work as a virtual fence, kind of like the electric fence for your dog, but they're actually really good and they work really well, supposedly, right? So I started doing managed goat grazing. So clients will pay me to have my goats go on their property and eat their poison ivy, their brush, all the things that they don't want to deal with. It's more affordable than hiring big landscapers. It doesn't break your back. It works out really well. So I got these collars, and I don't have the collars on me, but I'm going to show you. They're kind of big. So the collars are like, there's a box that hangs from the goat's neck that's like this big. It goes on a collar. It's got little metal prongs here. I was going to run out to the barn and grab one, but I forgot to. But I'll do another video where I like go out in the field and show you everything. And you'll see it then. So make sure you subscribe, hit subscribe. Okay. What I want to show you though, this is so cool. So I'm going to, okay. I'm going to share my screen. You're going to see me for a second with a bunch of things. Okay. So I have to, here we go. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go into the NoFence app. This is so cool, and I'm mildly obsessed with it. This is the pasture that I have, and it's going to show you all of the collars that I've gotten. So I bought 5 collars. This is not a cheap investment. I'm going to be completely honest, but it's worth it because I can take this map and I can, I can go anywhere, right? Like I could make a pasture right here if I wanted to. Say somebody was having me clean out this area right here. I can go through and I can make a pasture there. So wherever I am, I can make a pasture. And I can move my goats into it. So I want to show you some of the features that I think is really cool. And we're going to go into the collars. Okay. So these are the collars that I have on my goats. Actually, Belle is a sheep. And I don't have all of my goats and all of my sheep. They're not all on a collar. The 4 goats that work, they are not on collars because I really wanted to get these and train the goats who consider fences as boundaries first. So that would be thunder, lightning, Toasty, and beans. And then I had an extra one, so I put it on Belle. My 4 goats that are my good workers. Oh, my phone. Sorry. I'm like, what happened here? Okay. My 4 goats that are my good workers, that would be Nellie, Icy, Honey, and Pumpkin Pie. They don't have these collars on. I'm going to eventually get them. So, by the way, if I give you a discount code, I get a discount code in return. So if you do want something, I'm going to be buying some more. So if you do want some more, or if you do want to get it, please send me an email, contact@onlygoatsfarm, or just even comment on this and I'll tell you like where to email me. And I'll get you the discount code. I have to put it in manually. I can't just do a link, unfortunately. So I want to show you some of these things. So we're going to go to, who should we look at? We're going to look at Toasty. Okay. This shows me exactly where Toasty is. It shows me that she has had 0 warnings and 0 pulses. So it'll give you a sound warning, a little song. Like at first it's quiet, and that doesn't count as a warning. It's just like, hey, the boundary is here. And then it gets louder, and that counts as a warning. And then it pulses. And she did really good today because she had no pulses and no warnings. You can look in here, looking yesterday. Okay. Yesterday, she had 6. She had 6 warnings and wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And this was only because I had the boundary set differently. I had changed the boundary. But she had 6 and 2 pulses. This over here, now this map is old. My property doesn't look like this anymore. There's more infrastructure. It goes off of a Google map. So like if I want to go around something, I have to kind of guess where it is. But up here in this area, I'll put it in the center there. That is a garden. So I kind of moved it around the garden, and you can see she tried to go in the garden and got zapped, or got a warning, and she left. Over here in the back of my house, I have my meat chickens in a brooder, and I was feeding them, and she came over here. There's fencing over here now. Like this is all fenced in pasture. And she jumped the fence and ran over with her two little uh comrades there. And this was the first time she got a warning, and then she got a pulse, and then she got a warning and then a pulse because she didn't know which way to run. And then she got a warning and she hightailed it back. So there were 0 escapes. If you go into this one up here, where it's the little pentagon with the arrow, that means she escaped the boundary. There were 0 escapes. So you can see that it worked really, really well for her. And then today, even though she had 6 warnings and 2 pulses yesterday, absolutely nothing. Like trained pretty much like instantaneously. I'm in a live right now. Okay. Okay. Yep. Go, please. Okay. So then this one, now we haven't had the collars on for very long. Okay. So this is going to track the collar activity. So if for some reason, negative 27%, I can't really count this as anything right now because I don't have a lot of data on it because the colors are new on them. But if I see something like this, then I can be like, okay, I need to check on this animal. I need to go out there. I need to check their FOMACHA. I need to do like a health check on them. Make sure they're not hurt. Make sure that they're not laying in a corner somewhere. Make sure that they're okay. Because if you have goats and sheep, that this can happen really, really quickly. And next thing you know, you're running to the vet. For whatever it is, right? So this is really cool too. And it's also really cool because it allows me to see what time they wake up, what time they go to bed. So my goats are typically going to bed like around 8 o'clock and they're waking up around 10 o'clock. So you can see that. So we'll go into Belle here. So Belle is new. This is her first day. She has gotten a lot of warnings, but only 1 pulse out of that. So that's good. She's also a sheep. So this is a different breed. And she's the only sheep that I have this on. So you could see, we'll go back into this like 14 minutes ago when she was last seen. That just means every 15 minutes this updates. So it's going to update again soon. It shows exactly where she is on the map. So if you lose your goat or your sheep or whoever's wearing it, or you lose the collar, you're going to be able to locate it. You can play a sound to locate it. I'm not going to do that because it's going to sound like the warning and it's going to freak her out. And I can see exactly everywhere that she's been. Now, I did have her in a training pasture, and you can see exactly where the training pasture boundary was because you can see exactly where she was getting all of the warnings and the 1 pulse. You can see everywhere that she has been. These are not escapes because that was after I changed her and moved her over to a different pasture. And you can see here everywhere that she has been since she's had the collar on, right? So like, look at this time. I can see that at 6:54 p.m. she was over here. I could see that she got a pulse at 3:30 p.m. So I can see all of that. It's so cool. Go back into activity and plus 89%. That's because she just got the collar on. Last 24 hours, you could see my sheep, or this particular sheep, is a lot more active than the goats, right? So she's sleeping from like midnight to like 7 o'clock, maybe like 11:30, 12 until like 7 o'clock in the morning. She's getting up and moving around. So she's getting a lot less sleep than the goats. The goats are just like, when I wake them up to go to a job, they're like, oh, do we have to go to work? Every time. We can come in thunder and lightning will come in here. 0, nothing, no escapes, no warnings, no pulses. Yesterday, we had a couple over here next to the garden. That was when I just, moved that over there. A couple next to the garden. It's keeping them out of the garden. This is the garden, okay? And it's keeping them out of the garden. No warnings. Last week, it's not going to give me anything for last week because I've only had her on her for a little bit. And then again, you can see that she's waking up at, I guess, 10, getting active around 1, probably taking a nap, and going to bed at like 8. My goats go to bed at 8 o'clock. It's, oh, actually, that was thunder, right? So yeah, tracking, activity. So you can see all of that. We can look at beans, be the same thing. Beans, like yesterday, beans had stuff around the garden. Today, nothing. You could see exactly where he has been in the field. So it is really, really cool. I can draw a new pasture. So this is going to show me my existing pastures. And say I was going to, say my neighbor's got this field over here that he was talking about wanting me to do some goat skipping in his field. I can put fence posts exactly where I want the field to go. I could also hold the fence post. Say I want to get some of the woods in there. Okay. I can hold fence posts, go like this. And now I have a new virtual fence. I can now move my goats into there if I wanted to. I don't want to. I'm not going to right now. But it tells me it's 1.79 acres. I can also say, I'm going to move this up and say I'm going to do a fence with all of this area. Okay. But this is a garden in the middle, and I don't want that garden. So I can click this in the bottom left and make a new exclusion zone. So now this right here, I'm going to make this be an exclusion zone, and they can no longer go into this. I could have done an exclusion zone over here around my garden too, but because it's so close to the border of the neighbor's property, I didn't want to do that because they have to have space to run. Otherwise, they'd hear it and they'd run and they'd hear another one and they'd get caught between two things. So I didn't do that. But yeah, that's how all of that works. Then I can save it. I can rename it. So I'm going to save it as a neighbor's house. Say it as neighbor's house. And then if I want to do, I'm going to go back into that really quick. I don't have a beacon. Okay. I don't have a beacon. A beacon is something that you put in the barn, and I have not put anything in the barn. I just ordered the beacons because I figured that I want to have them. One thing that I did notice, now my goats were trained pretty much instantaneously. And the reason for that is because I have a barn for them to go to that they can run no matter where they are. So if they're over here, so let's go back over to Toasty. Okay. Toasty's over here on this side. She gets a warning. She can run back into the barn. If she's over here, she gets a warning. She's going to run back to the barn. Everywhere she can go, she can run back to the barn because it's kind of in the middle of the field. So that makes it, I noticed, I guess a lot of it goes into animal behavior, and you want them to have like a safe zone. The barn is their safe zone. So if I'm going to take them off site and do off site grazing, I want to make sure that they have a safe zone. So I will need to bring a portable shelter in order to use this. I believe. I have not used that part yet. So I'm not 100% sure. I can go into analysis here. This is going to do an analysis of this pasture. It's going to show me where the hot spots are. The hot spots See here, these red spots, that's the part of the barn where they sleep. That's where they're sleeping. I can see the hot spots for the warnings. So this is for today. She was getting the warnings right there because she was in that pasture. But let's go look at yesterday. The warnings were, and again, I moved the pasture, but the warnings were mainly over by the garden. Pulses, same thing over by the garden. Escapes, 0. I have had 0 escapes since this has been put up, which to me, that is just absolutely incredible. So, I mean, I think that is pretty cool. You can also look at it in terrain. So if you want to see the terrain map, my terrain map is kind of boring because it just looks the same. Okay. Let me see here. So we've got, oh my goodness, let me change it back because that's boring. Oh, so you can show data from today. So if I wanted to show the everything, and then we'll go into there. So if I want my map to show everything, I can do that. And I can see every single, the escapes, the warnings, where the collars are. I can click on any of these collars. It's going to tell me when she was last reported. Remember I told you it was going to report in another minute? It must have been 7 minutes ago. I can see all of that. If I want to move a collar, I can move from pasture to pasture. I can select, I can be like, okay, I'm going to move Belle over to this collar. I'm going to take these collars from the map. I'm going to move them over here. Or I'm going to remove the pasture using my Bluetooth. Because you can use Bluetooth or the GPS for some of the things. And I think that's it. I mean, I think that's it there. You can have the beacon, the map markers. You can add custom markers to the map that will be shown. So these can be used to point to indicate a water source or a line to represent a physical fence. This I actually did not know. So this is really cool because I do have a physical fence in there. So I'm going to do that. And then I could do that for like my garden and stuff too. I actually didn't know that. But yeah, so that is, oh, we can stop mirroring. That is what I wanted to show you because I think that it is so cool. These collars, I spent I can't talk. I spent a good deal of money on them. I mean, it's fencing. We know fencing is not cheap. It's probably the most expensive expense that you have, no matter what kind of fencing you're going to do, unless you're doing like pallet fencing. For goats, it becomes like an impossible expense sometimes. I cannot believe that it's working. Like within 15 minutes, my goats were trying to it. My sheep's still working on it. But I cannot believe that it's working. I am really excited. I'm going to be testing it out at a friend's property when we go off site. I'm going to be getting more collars so that I can, instead of doing small projects where I use 4 goats, I can do projects that are a little bit longer or finish projects up a little bit quicker by doing more goats into one project. Hint, 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 fix my trailer axle. You know who you are. But I am really, really excited about that. And I don't know if you're watching. Are you watching, Mike? I'm joking. I am really, really excited about that. I cannot believe how well this works. And I have only had it. Let's see. It came in the mail when I was on the way to a goat party. So I probably got it Saturday. And then I had to spend the time charging them. I put the last collar on yesterday because I got 1 charger. You can buy more, but I'm cheap. So I spent them, it takes like 8 hours to charge each of them. The charges, now they do have solar panels on the outside of them. So it holds a charge longer than it needs to. So you got to charge it up, and then the solar panels keep it charged. And for goats that don't escape or whatever, cattle, sheep, whatever, um, it takes like the whole season. Like it will be good for the whole season. Um, I don't know if you have any questions about it. I will do like updates on this because I feel that it's worth it to see somebody else going through it if you're going to make an investment like this in something. Um, knock, 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 knock right on the floor. But I think it's so cool. And the collars, I mean, they're so big. Hold on a second. Let me get into it here really quick. I need to find the picture of my goats wearing the collars because it's like you're like, oh my goodness, that thing fits on you like that. Hold on. Why do I have so many pictures of goats in my phone? Anybody else have that problem? No, those are baby goats. Here we go. Okay. So I'll share a screen. I'm just going to go right into my thingy here. Nope. Okay. This is how big the collars are. They're so big. Let me see here. Do I've got, I thought I had more pictures in there. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, I mean, they're big. These are some big collars. They're not like dog collars. I was a little shocked. I felt a little silly putting them on my Nigerian dwarfs. These are yearling Nigerian dwarfs. And I felt a little silly. Ooh, let's let you walk in the live video. Yeah, I felt a little silly because they're really big. But it works. It definitely works. So, I don't know. I'm really excited to see and experiment more with this. So make sure you're subscribed. I will show you more as I go through and do more things with it. This is not a sponsored video. I get nothing from sharing this video. I did not get anything for free. I paid for everything out of pocket. Actually, my goats paid for it because they made the money for me to do it. So my goats paid for everything, and I'm doing this on behalf of them. This is just my honest thoughts. If I spent this much money and because it's like $200 a collar. If I spent this much money on this and was unhappy, I would most certainly let you know about it. With or without any sponsorship, but there's no sponsorship here. I asked them. They don't do that. They don't even do like regular discount codes. The only way to get a discount code is to refer somebody else. And if if I refer you, you get a 10% discount code. That's the only time you can get a discount code. Now, if you buy 5 collars, because that's the minimum, you have to buy 5 collars. If you buy 5 collars, then I get a discount for 5 collars. If you buy 6, I get a discount for 6. So their referral system's a little not as cool, I guess. But they're worth it, I think. Granted, I've only had it for a weekend, basically, a day for some of them. So, but I mean, I can look if my animal escapes. You see those animals walking down the street. If my animal escapes, I know. If somebody goes and steals my animal, and then they'll either be wearing the collar and I'll be able to find them, or the collar will be on the ground and I will know to go check on them and I'll find out. I can figure out exactly what time they were stolen. Anything like that happens, it just makes it easier and less stressful. It can tell you if your animal's sick. It actually notifies you. So if my goats are off the property and they escape, or even if they get a warning notification, you can set up this in your settings. But if they get a warning, if they get a pulse, I'm going to get a notification on my phone telling me. So if I know if somebody's testing the boundary, I can know. So, um, yeah, that's I just wanted to show you that. I think it's really cool. Let me know your thoughts, and um if you use it at all, if you have any uh experience with it, or if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments and I will help you out whatever way I can. I'm new to this. I'm just sharing what I'm learning as I'm going through it. All right. I will see you guys later. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more No Fence videos.